Flashing Champions 2023. Of course, last year, this pay-per-view was one of the biggest of the year for Stardom. Up until the 5-star Grand Prix final, I had it as my Stardom show of the year. That's how great it was. This year's card is a little bit different. It's not as championship heavy. We have 4 title matches, but it has one of the biggest main events. Scratch that. One of the biggest matches in Stardom history in the main event. So while the card may not be as big and maybe a little lesser than usual, it is still one of the biggest and best shows, and I expect Stardom, as always, to deliver. Of course, this show starts on Saturday at 3:30 a.m. Eastern. For those who want to check it out, it'll be available on pay-per-view. Go check out at We _R_ Stardom, the English Stardom account, to get all the information you may need to make sure you buy this pay-per-view, because trust me, this is not going to be a show you want to miss. But let's get into it, starting with opening action. It will be Saya Ida versus Lady C versus Momo Kogo. Of course, Momo Kogo fresh off that stellar showing against Will Nightingale in the semifinals of the New Japan Strong Women's Championship title tournament. Uh, Looking at this match, you may think in your head, could Momo Kogo maybe use the momentum, despite losing? Could she use the momentum to carry her to a big win here and maybe turn that into something? That would be nice. I don't think Saida, I think she has the least chance of winning this match. Of course, this is a triple threat due to the injury of Miyu Hamasaki, who, of course, we are wishing a fast and speedy recovery. Stinks that she's not able to compete, but I know she'll be back better than ever, as per usual. She's been getting better and better, so I'm hoping she's back very soon, because the trick to her improvement has been just staying healthy and wrestling on the road. So again, hope she's back. I'm picking Lady C, though, to win this match. Lady C, of course, challenging for the Future of Stardom Championship at Stardom's next show, New Blood 9, which is next. It's next week. She'll be challenging Rena, so I feel like this will be her chance to get a momentum boost heading into that show. Next up, we have Shuri likely kicking off the main card. Yes, Shuri, the same person who main evented Flashing Champions 2022 against Risa Sera in one of the best title defenses of her title reign. She'll be teaming with rookie Aya Sakura against Rebel X enemies Ram Kai Chao and Mika Ozaki. This is an interesting match. Ram and Mika Ozaki have continued to stay working with the company despite Maikiki essentially leaving, and not having any connection to Stardom since that match with Julia. But they continue to work on and off, especially for shows in Tokyo. That continues here. You may ask yourself, well, they're the real team. Wouldn't they win? I don't bet against Shuri. Shuri got Hanako's first win for her. I feel like this is a chance for her to get Aya Sakura's first win for her as well. Shuri, of course, still one of the very best in the world, even if she doesn't have a lot going on. That's my thoughts on that one. Next up, we have Stars versus Club Venus. This match should be really good. If you've been listening to my show, if you've been following me on Twitter long enough, you know that I think Mayu Iwatani versus Mariah May for the IWGP Women's title would be a smart direction to go. And to me, this match feels like how we get there. They've been continuously facing one another on house shows. They've shown fantastic chemistry with one another. I've been a big advocate. I want Mariah May to get a big title match, and this feels like her opportunity to finally get that. You can disagree with me, but I think she's ready for that spotlight. I think she very much deserves the big title match. Looking at the rest of the teams here, it's pretty apparent Stars is getting this win. This is pretty much their top 4 in terms of being pushed. Hanan's going up that ladder more and more. Really, she's above Koguma at this point in the faction. At least I think it feels that way. Jesse, Watkins, they've been pinned plenty. Um, so I think we get the win here for Stars. I'd like to see Mariah May and Mayu Iwatani continue building towards a potential title match somewhere down the line. The continuation of the problems between Utami Hayashida, Saya Kamatani will continue here. I've been talking about it for a few weeks now. Of course, on the show last week I had with Trent, we talked a little bit about how their problems are becoming more evident, and it's a story that they are taking their time with. Of course, this past weekend we learned about the Generations battle that will be happening at the Cork and Hall show on the 4th. Which will be Suzu Suzuki, Maika, Utami Hayashida, and Saya Kamatani teaming up to take on Shuri, Julia, Tam Nakano, and Mayu Iwatani. I'm very excited for that match and where that could potentially bring us. But their problems are the bigger story. Do they lead us to a 5-star block decider? Do they lead us to a 5-star final? That's what I'm thinking more than a Queen's Quest split. I think it would be silly to have Saya leave the group. Mostly because I don't see her necessarily clicking or going to any of the other factions right now. None of them would make sense to me. And you wouldn't slot her behind someone else. The only person that Saya can reasonably be slotted behind these days is someone like Utami Hayashida. I think it's leading to a big match between the two. That's kind of a blow off, and then they'll be okay. But this is a chance to continue that build, with as we await Stardom World uploads. This match should give you all an idea who maybe aren't paying attention fully through the Twitter accounts, who have, by the way, been great at trying to tell this story more and more. This should be something worth keeping an eye on. I think overall, Utami should be the one beating Tam Nakano, and despite the problems, Queen Quest has continued to win. So I think they beat young OED here and get the victory in this trios match. Now this one's interesting. I may be looking more into this than maybe anyone else, and that's okay. But when it comes to Maika and Suzuki, there's certainly something going on here. These two they're connected for one reason or the other. And when I say that, it's about the respect that they've paid to each other. Of course, Suzuki is the one that led us to the generation battle. She's the one that, kind of made sure Maika was there. They've exchanged fist bumps at the Cork and Hall show after their triple threat against Ruaka. There's just a lot of moving parts regarding Maika and Suzu. And now that they're in this tag team match, I'd keep a close eye on it. They're telling a story here between these two. Even if it's subtle, they're telling a story here. And it's one that I'm very intrigued by. Does Suzu join DDM? Something that I predicted. Or is this a break-off faction from DDM? We'll have to wait and see. And then on the other side, Nanai Takahashi and Yuna Mizumori, obviously at odds. There will be a passion injection match at that same Cork and Hall show that the Generation battles happening. It will be Nanai versus Yuna Mizumori. So I'm assuming that ultimately leads to their downfall if they're not on the same page. I'm sure Hanako still is the one getting pinned, but it's worth checking out. But keep an eye on Suzu and Maika. They're cooking something up, and it's something that I'm very intrigued by. The high-speed title match, it will be Azumi defending against Saki Kashima and Fukigen Death. This was her decision. Saki Kashima laid down the challenge for another high-speed title match, which Azumi accepted and then changed it to a three-way, adding Fukigen Death to the match. We've seen Azumi take on the challenges before involving Fukigen Death, of course. It was Azumi, Fukigen, and Hazuki at the end of last year. And it wouldn't be crazy to think that maybe Fukigen is the one that is ultimately pinned here. Could it be Saki Kashima pinning Fukigen Death and taking the high speed title without pinning Azumi? Or is it Azumi pinning Fukigen to get the win? I think it's pretty obvious Fukigen Death is the one losing here, but I could see it go either way in terms of Saki and Azumi. Of course, Saki Kashima is working towards that first ever singles title win. And hopefully, one way or the other, she gets it. We'll have to wait and see if that's the case. If I had to make a prediction now, I'm still going to go with my gut, and that's Azumi winning. But if Saki Kashima were to walk away with the win, one, I'd be pretty goddamn happy for it. But two, I think it'd make a lot of sense to try to change up the high speed division and give Azumi a chance to now expand into the world outside of the high speed division. The New Eras will defend their Goddesses of Stardom championships for the second time, this time against the duo of Natsuko Tora and Momo Watanabe. I firmly believe this is the perfect matchup for the New Eras. This is almost to a point maybe what a Maihime challenge could have been once upon a time. When I say that, obviously Natsuko and Momo haven't teamed as long as Maihime did, but I think they bring the same type of match, and that is fast paced, but at the same time, hard hitting, Hoss like battle that I think the New Eras need to try to fight more. That is what both Ami and Mirai fight better. That being said, I don't know. While the match with FWC I thought was really good, that was an FWC show to me rather than a New Eras, you know, match where they jumped out. And this is now the chance to have that match, right? Have that match between or have that established match of okay, this is why we're the Goddesses of Stardom champions. I think Natsuko and Momo very quickly have shown as a duo that they're excellent together. They've worked together long enough now that obviously they have chemistry. But as a duo, especially in that win that they had at the last pay-per-view over Shuri and Konami, they showed that what they can be all about. So I'm actually excited for this match. I think it could be maybe your dark horse match of the night in terms of, you know, one that just exceeds expectations. I'm definitely going with the New Eras to win here, but I'm excited to see Natsuko and Momo in this big match. I think they've both been great tag team wrestlers over the past year, especially. Your semi-main event of the evening will be Restart taking on the Bari Bari Bombers, Julia, Tekla, and Mai Sakurai. It's obvious. It's obvious why this match is so hyped, so important, so big, so great. And it's that we are going to see Kairi and Julia go head to head for the very first time. This is something people have been waiting for. This is something both of them have been waiting for. I've done interviews with both of them for Fightful.com. They've been very clear that this is a potential matchup that they've both been eyeing, and this will be our first taste of that. I don't know how much we're going to see of them going head to head because obviously it's a big singles match you want to save, but I think anything is enough at this point. I think for a lot of fans, including myself, just seeing them in the same ring together, going face to face, that's going to be outstanding. And I also think when it comes to Restart, this is another chance to show why they should be the trios champions moving forward. I firmly believe a Restart win. That's not really something that I would not have this DDM trio be the ones to beat them. But I think this is a match that they can play towards the Natsupoi aspect of it. They can play to Sayori New kind of just still figuring her way out in Stardom, but obviously she's been outstanding, right? And they can play, of course, to Kairi and Julia, which is the big story heading into this match. If you told me at the end of the night this was your favorite match of the night, I wouldn't be shocked. I think this is going to be outstanding. I think this is going to continue the great Artists of Stardom title matches that we've seen for the better part of the past year. And I'm excited for this one. Restart should be winning. And I think this is just our, step one towards the first ever singles match between Kairi and Julia. And finally, the main event. Tam Nakano, Mina Shirakawa, World of Stardom Championship, Wonder of Stardom Championship, double title main event. The second time ever in Stardom history, last time being Kagetsu versus Momo Watanabe. There's only been one double champion in history. And that, of course, is Mayu Iwatani, who defeated Io Shirai to become the World of Stardom champion while she was already the Wonder of Stardom champion. Of course, that was then. This is now. What will happen by the end of Flashing Champions? This match is the perfect match to main event this show. This match somehow has become the perfect match to be the latest double title match in Stardom. I keep saying this. I'm going to keep saying it. If you told me a year ago, if you told me 2 years ago that we would have a double title match with the World and Wonder on the line, and it was going to be between Tam Nakano and Mina Shirakawa, I would have called you crazy. If you had said it, like I said, a year ago, 6 months ago, I likely would have called you crazy. Hell, 3 months ago, I might have called you crazy. That being said, they have built this match to perfection. It is very simple. It is the story of what Tam has long lived in her career. She always wanted to prove that she was on the same level of Mayu Iwatani. That's why she created Cosmic Angels, less stars. She wanted to prove she wasn't, the second or third player anymore. So she made her own faction. She wanted to be a leader. Mina Shirakawa is wanting to do the same, but with Tam Nakano in her view. She wants to prove to Tam that she's not third place. She's not second place. She's on her level. And yeah, maybe this match would have worked with or without the titles, but it sure gets all the better with the titles on the line. I don't expect there to be a title change here. I expect some sort of draw, whether it be by double knockout or time limit draw. I like the idea of double knockout because this match is going to be personal. This match is going to be intense. This match is going to be a potential match of the year contender. Listen, at the end of the show, you know how it's going to happen. There's going to be some people that adore this match, and there's going to be some people that didn't like it. That's the Tam road, baby. Get used to it. But at the rate that Mina Shirakawa is hitting right now, her star power, her confidence, and her ability in the ring are all connecting not only to make her the very best to be Wonder of Stardom champion, they're making her the very best going today. She has entered another level of superstardom, and she's going to carry that into this match against her mentor, against the person that helped her grow as a professional wrestler, because she wants to prove she is on her level. Mina doesn't need to win to prove that. She just can't lose. Tam Nakano doesn't have to prove anything. Tam Nakano just needs to keep her her World of Stardom championship. This match is one of the most highly anticipated matches of the year for me because they've built it to perfection. Mina is cutting the promos of her life all over again. She is doing everything with meaning, doing everything with care. This is the one. This is the one. The former Cosmic Angel versus the Cosmic Angel. Club Venus versus Cosmic Angels. Tam versus Mina. The road all leads to this point. If someone were to win, which I don't expect anyone to win, but if someone were to win, I'd expect it to be Tam. I'd expect Tam more likely to be your second ever double champion if that were to happen. But I expect the draw. I look towards the draw, and I'm excited for the draw. A double knockout makes too much sense to me. They have the intensity, they have the story, they have this rivalry that has worked towards that potential result. We'll have to wait and see if that's the direction they go, but to me, it very much can be and maybe even should be. I'm really looking forward to this match, 2023 Flashing Champions main event. Tam Nakano versus Mina Shirakawa. World and Wonder of Stardom titles on the line in a double title main event. It doesn't get bigger than that.